Hello and welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. Today I'm talking about getting very uncomfortable and the benefits of it. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. When I turned 50, I decided that my life had become stagnant. I'd stagnated. And so what I decided to do was to make myself uncomfortable, to become uncomfortable. What does that mean? It means getting out of my comfort zone. I'd achieved everything that I really wanted to achieve. I didn't know what to do. And so what I realized was that how I could expand myself was to make myself uncomfortable and put myself into uncomfortable situations, but not stupid and uncomfortable situations in which I was going to be able to learn more. One of the things I did, I started construction, for example. I started building walls and closing off parts of my house. Never done it before, and it was terrifying, and yet I did it and I learned such a lot. But also, because I'm here in Spain, most of the therapy that I do is by Zoom and it's in English, but every now and again somebody wants me to do therapy in Spanish. Now, if you have a second language, you know that doing something in the second language is more of a challenge, especially not if you're bilingual and you've been brought up with two languages, but if you learned it later on in life, like I did when I was 40, as I was learning Spanish. So when I do hypnosis, now hypnosis is using language patterns craftily, right? So when you do that in another language, when I do that in Spanish, it puts me into an uncomfortable zone, because not only am I thinking about the process I'm doing, I'm thinking about the language that I've got to do and how I'm going to convert those language patterns into the other language. In English, I don't need to think about it. I've internalized those processes, but in Spanish, no, the manual. So I've got to do them. So it makes me feel very uncomfortable. But I do it because I'm aware that when you make yourself uncomfortable, you are expanding the comfort zone. The comfort zone only does two things. It either expands or it contracts. What happens with people who don't do anything to expand their comfort zone, over time it gets smaller and smaller. And you see this in people as they get older. They become less able to do things that they would do when they were younger, because the comfort zone is so small, and sometimes it just becomes as small as the armchair where they're just sitting, and I'm just comfortable here in my armchair watching the TV. So our job is to keep that comfort zone expanding. Keep it expanding. In fact, there are two things that you've got to do in life that I've learned. One is keep your comfort zone expanding. Keep making yourself uncomfortable. When you think, oh, I'm scared to do that, then you ought to probably do it. Okay? The other thing is that you need to have a to-do list that is longer than your life. What that means is that you need to have more things on your to-do list than you can possibly do in one lifetime. Why? Because that keeps you alive. It keeps you alive. It's been shown over and over again. When people retire and they have no plan, they die within the first 3 years as an average. You need a plan. Your body responds to plans. Keep your to-do list filled. I need to have 2 lives or 3 lives to complete all the things that I want to do. Okay? So keep it that way. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't frustrate you. It just keeps your body alive. Your body goes, no, we've got to keep going because we've got stuff to do. Yeah? So that's my advice to you. Just as I am doing, make yourself uncomfortable. Try stuff. Try stuff that you already have some skills to do, but you're scared to try them out. Or that you don't have any skills and you've just got to learn from scratch. Wonderful experiences. It makes your self-esteem, your self-worth and your self-love skyrocket. It goes through the ceiling when you achieve stuff. But don't think that you're going to do it without making mistakes. You've got to make mistakes, especially when you're doing something you've never done before. So give yourself a break. Make sure you do the research properly. Look at it. There's tons of help now. But there's somebody who will tell you how to do everything now. Do it. push yourself. Look at where you're just stagnating in life. That's not a good place. Stagnant water is horrible. Alright, so go for it. Make yourself uncomfortable. Do the worst. And Vicky, my challenge to you, you speak French. Your challenge is to do a past life regression in French. How about that for a challenge? I don't know how much French you've got. I mean, it could be a lifelong challenge. Anyway, there we are. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.